when you connect with others, to actually identify assets and resources. So there's a certain kind of attitude, and the first is openness and availability. So when you were doing the exercise, when you were talking with each other and sharing, you were learning how to listen to each other, being available, being open to the experience. That's very, very important. So that's like the first part of identifying potential connections. And that's really what, if you heard from some of the statements, you had some basic connections. And that's how you build relationship. You start on what you're connected about. It could be age, it could be something that's, maybe you're from the same town, maybe you have some similar experience. That's how you establish a bond. So openness and availability, you are demonstrating that, knowing how to listen. So if we're talking about asset development, it's related to identifying potential resources. So if you think about some of the conversations that you had in the interaction as you were listening, this is how I operate, is I always listen, I always think to myself, how can I connect that person to a resource or a person that they need to meet to help fulfill their needs? How am I going to be of service? So that's essentially the third point, can see patterns in the community. For example, a guy calls me and he says, I want to start a permaculture group. And he was just asking me something very specific. He said, could you send out an announcement on an email list that I had of 1,000 people? And I said, I could do that. But I said, wouldn't it be better, why don't you talk to so-and-so who is involved with the food cooperative, talk to this person who's involved with the farmer's market, talk to this person over here, and then ask them how you can help them. It's kind of like paying it forward, passing it forward. So when he did that, he actually was listening to what their needs were and helping them. Then they, in turn, were the ones that sent it out to their networks. And that permaculture group, the guild, started in that way. Very simple. So, for this kind of work too, you need to enjoy connecting people and always being aware of how you can be of service. And then building bridges is very important. So that's really what you're doing. In developing assets, you're actually identifying resources that are there. So you're listening, and then you're connecting people. And in doing that, you're building bridges. So I built a bridge with that fellow who wanted to start a permaculture guild by connecting him to people he didn't know. So I connected several networks that weren't before connected. In doing that, there's flow of information and resources. New resources are available, and that's the kind of a secret to innovation. That's how you get new ideas and projects developed. And what Dr. Ari was talking about, something I really learned from him, was how to transcend our own likes and dislikes. Because they say birds of a feather flock together. So we build networks. The average person's network is 300 people. Like where you work, could be a business, could be your church, about 300 people. So we stay in what I'd call a network ghetto. And we don't even know that it's impoverished. We think it's the universe. We think that we're the cat's meow, that we've really gone out. But we don't realize is because of our own likes and dislikes, it precludes us inside from reaching out to others. So if you're like a liberal-minded, you might not like conservative people. You're a Buddhist, even Buddhist, you might not want to reach out to a Christian, that kind of thing. In our society, we're very fragmented. So the awakening part of what Dr. Ari was talking about, the spirituality part, is where we can actually go beyond our likes and dislikes. That takes conscious awareness. And what will happen is, as you decide to reach out and build bridges, you'll see what your own judgments are. You'll learn more about what has been keeping you from being a unifier. You'll see. And sometimes it's really silly, You might not like one kind of person or one kind of personality. So there's some obstacles to be able to build these bridges, identifying assets and resources. And that's the awakening part. whole system thinker, and enjoys being part of a team.